Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tavares Wilson, as you all know, and this is Last Word Productions, where I always get the last word. I want to thank you all for tuning in once again. I hope you all having a great semester here at Clinton State, and whoever else is listening, I hope you're having a great life in general and a great day. But let's get right to it. I'm going to start off with a little segment that I call Win the Prize. You know, we all know March Madness has approached, and we all know there's countless of different brackets out there right now because there's no telling what's going to happen. That's why it's called March Madness. But I have a little prize in mind for you all. Whoever can email me or text me, however way you want to contact me via Instagram or Facebook, it doesn't matter. If you can send me your bracket and your bracket be right, you have a chance to win an Andrew Wiggins basketball signed by himself. And that, you know, he's not one of the most notable names, but at the same time, it's an NBA basketball player's basketball signature. So I feel as if that could be a good prize for anyone out there who's an Andrew Wiggins fan and someone who's also just wants the ball just to say they have more to resell it. But you have a chance to win Andrew Wiggins signed basketball if you can send me your current bracket for March Madness, and if it ends up being right, hey, you get the ball. But let's get right to NBA news though. I want to talk about the game of the night last night for me, and I feel as if the Houston Rockets versus the Memphis Grizzlies was the game of the night last night. That game went in overtime and it was decided by 1 point. Despite James Harden's best efforts, and he had a pretty good shooting night, he went 9 for 17 behind the three. I believe he went 11 for 29 from the floor period. And despite all of that, he fell short to beat the Grizzlies after putting up 57 points himself. Mike Conley and Jonas Valanciunas almost combined for 70 points. Those two guys had a great night. Conley had 35, Valanciunas had 33. So this was an entertaining game. Chris Paul had a pretty bad shooting night, but he played both ways as he always do. He still put up, I believe it was 17 points. But he had an overall bad shooting night, going 6 for 17 from the floor. And then Valanciunas just had one of his best games of his career, honestly. He put up 33. I believe he had a double-double in the night. Mike Conley played both ways, distributed the ball well as he always do every given night. But he doesn't always put up this amount of points, but when he does, he's extremely effective because he's already a floor general and he can play both ends. So with his IQ, and if he can keep up this kind of score, not to say he's going to score 35 every night, because you're not going to score 35 every night regardless of who you are, but if he can maintain a high level scoring as a 20, 21 points per game guy, he can make this team a whole lot better with his play, because they're going to have to be forced to not only respect him as a passer and a floor general, but they're going to have to respect him as a scorer himself, not even just being a playmaker. But let's get to my early playoff predictions though. So we're going to start off in the East. We're going to do the top versus bottom seed right now. That is the Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat. I feel as if this series will be close. I think the Heat can pull off one, but I don't see them going no more past 5 games in this series. I think Giannis absolutely destroys the Heat. I think he's been on a tear this season. He's a top 3 candidate for the MVP award, of course, and I feel as if them getting Mirotic was a good trade for them because he's a stretch forward that they needed. They needed more shooters on this team with Malcolm Brogdon down, but he's going to come in, he's going to get some of those rebounds, he's going to carry some of that offensive load from Giannis and Eric Bledsoe and guys like that. But he can also, like I said, he's a stretch big, he can stretch the floor. So that's something in today's NBA that is very vital and essential on every team. So I can see them beating the Heat pretty easily. The Heat, even though they have a few talented players such as Winslow, and they still have D-Wade, Goran Dragic, Hassan Whiteside, they still got these guys, but I just don't see them rallying the troops to make a push in the playoffs to get past to get past the Bucks. If the the seeds stayed the same as they are now. Out west, it'll be a way more entertaining series because right now OKC is sitting at the 8th seed and they have to play the Warriors. This will be an extremely good series, especially with the bad blood between OKC and Kevin Durant in particular, but not just that organization and that specific player. These two teams have a history. Don't get me wrong. They have bad blood in general with each other, and to add a guy like DeMarcus Cousins in that mix is going to make it even more worse because he's developed this reputation for himself for being one of those dirtiest, not gruesome, but hardcore players in the league. So he's a guy that's going to make this series a whole lot more entertaining and a whole lot more, honestly, dangerous because he's going to put up his amount of points and rebounds just like how every other star on that team will. Clay, Curry, KD, they still got Iguodala come off the bench. So it's going to be a pretty good series. Their bench isn't the same as it is, but they just added more star power to that team. But OKC also has a lot of good talent. They have a good team. Westbrook has been a good facilitator this season. He's helping guys like Paul George, Jeremy Grant, Steven Adams, and Dennis Schroeder have career years in shooting and in points per game. So these guys are playing better because of Westbrook. He's helped elevate their games by him facilitating the floor and controlling the ball and controlling the tempo. So with all that being said, I think this series could go to 7, and I do believe the Warriors do end up on top because of the simple fact that I don't see any team this year beating them 4 times in a 7-game series. I just don't see it. It's not that I don't think OKC isn't good enough to do it. I just believe the Warriors have too many weapons and they have too many shooters on that team, especially in today's NBA. They have far too many playmakers and far too many scorers on their team to be beaten 4 games out of 7. I just don't see it happening against this team. If it were to happen, I'd be shocked. Like, I'd be distraught. Like, I'd be shocked for real. It would be so mind-boggling to me if this team wasn't to win at all. But I do believe the Warriors come out on top in this series if the series were to stay the same how it is now. But it can always change because out west is very tight right now. I believe it's like 42. It's like 4 or 5 teams that have a 42-30 record. But we'll see. Now let's get to the NFL. This is my 2 early power rankings. I'm gonna go from 32 to 17 and be out of my first couple teams who I believe is the worst to the best. So let's start off with the 32nd team. I believe it's the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals, at this point, they're in the rebuild mode, and that's why I feel as if there's heavy talks of trading a guy like Josh Rosen, who is only a 1-year player, but they haven't given him much of an opportunity. It doesn't seem like they will give him much opportunity if they can find a trade sooner. But if not, I do believe they still draft Kyle Murray because they seem heavily interested in him, and he's for good reasons. I mean, his pro day, he made pinpoint accurate throws. He's the most athletic quarterback in this draft. He's probably the most athletic player in this draft, to be honest, outside of DK Metcalf, the receiver. But Kyle Murray is an athlete. He's a dynamic player. He's a game changer. You get him with a team because you know he will be the difference maker in the game. He reminds me so much of a Russell Wilson type player, and we see what Russell Wilson did his first couple years in the league, and we see what he's still doing. He's having MVP caliber years. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's a Pro Bowl quarterback. If they can at least get Kyle Murray to be half of what Russell Wilson is, you have a good quarterback. He could possibly be a Pro Bowl. That means he could possibly be a Pro Bowl quarterback, and he could probably have an MVP caliber year 1 time or 2 times out of his career. That's a good quarterback. But let's go on to the Dolphins. Same thing for the Cardinals, will be the same thing for the Dolphins. I just feel as if the Dolphins are a complete let go of Ryan Tannehill. They traded Ryan Tannehill to the Titans. They let Cameron Wake go to the Titans. Cam Wake go to the Titans as well. We let Danny Amendola go. We let a lot of talent. Not a lot of talent, but a lot of key players that we had counted on last season just leave, and they're still going to let some more people go because they're still trying to move Robert Quinn. So we'll see how things pan out in Miami. But this is a sink year, of course. This is a floppy year because this team hasn't made any real moves in free agency this year. The only move they really made was signing Dwayne Allen and signing a career backup to start as quarterback next season in Ryan Fitzpatrick. So this is a team that's making it obvious that they're going to tank this year. They're going to try to get a top 3 pick, and they're going to go from there because projected they're going to have a lot of cap space next season. They're going to have over $100 million in cap space next year, and they're going to go after some big names. Will it work? We'll see. That only time will tell. But as of right now, they're the second worst team in the league right now. The 30th team, I believe, are the Redskins. After losing Alex Smith, the Redskins just don't seem to be the same team. I feel as if that them traded for a guy like Case Keenum. I mean, if we want to trade for a guy like Case Keenum, who's had the best defense in the league and probably the best receiver duo in that season at the time, with the Tavis Murray in the backfield. If you want to trade for a dude like that who had to depend on so much talent around him, and when you don't have half that talent that team had, I mean, if you feel as if that's your best move, that's what you do. But with guys like Colin Kaepernick is still out there, and you don't take a chance on him, but you take a chance on a guy like Case Keenum. It's just, I don't understand the organization. They play guys like Colt McCoy, but they still have not given a chance to Colin Kaepernick. But the Redskins they lost their slot guy, Jameson Crowder, and they re-signed Adrian Peterson, but he's probably done after this season. And they did sign Landon Collins though from the Giants, but I don't see him being the guy that's going to put them over the top because simply his position doesn't command that kind of attention. It doesn't have that kind of effect on the field. But I will say this: the Redskins, they have had some talent walk out the door. They've had some talent there. They just can never stay healthy. So for my 2019, I believe it's the New York Giants. The Giants are this low. They could be lower for me, but I still do believe Saquon Barkley and Sterling Shepard can be very good. I believe Evan Ingram can be very good. I just feel as if the Giants have to move on from Eli Manning. They have to come to a realization and have to understand that Eli Manning is no longer the NFL Super Bowl quarterback that he once was about 6-7 years ago. That's no longer him. They have to come to a realization, and they have to realize in order for them to truly rebuild this team, because they just traded this best player in Odell Beckham. So you're honestly telling the fans that, listen, we have a plan, and in order for us to start this plan, to make it flow, we have to let this guy go because they gave us an offer we couldn't refuse. So now you have to show them the plan. Now you have to demonstrate the plan, you know? And if you tell the fans that you're going to watch another year of Eli Manning, when you can possibly draft a guy like Dwayne Haskins, who's arguably the best quarterback in this draft, who had probably the best Ohio State Buckeyes quarterback career ever, you have to take a chance on that. You don't have to keep depending on Eli Manning when he's not producing. So I feel as if the Giants do not make a move in this draft, if they don't make a big move this draft, I feel as if Trey Odell will be off or not. But they did sign Golden Tate to try to replace that production. Golden Tate isn't a bad receiver, but he's no Odell Beckham Jr. I'm sorry. He's a good receiver. He had good years in Seattle, good years with Detroit. He didn't do too much with the Eagles because he wasn't there for that long, but he did make his impact when need be, like in the playoffs, for instance. He made the big catch to help the Eagles beat the Bears to move on. But like I said again, he's no Odell Beckham Jr. So the Giants, in order for them to move up on this list, which they could, because they still have the talent, they just need to hit on all their draft picks this draft. The 28th team I got on my list, I believe, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs, I just think it's time for them also to realize what they have in Jameis Winston. It's time to move on. He's not the guy you drafted from FSU. He's not that bowl-winning quarterback. He's not going to be that difference maker or commanding a team that you like how you thought he was going to be. They have good receivers. They got Mike Evans. Mike is good. Chris Godwin, I'm sorry. They have Chris Godwin. They have O.J. Howard. They have the talent around him to be good, because I also believe Peyton Barber is a pretty good running back. He just needs more touches and he needs more opportunities. So I believe they have a solid offensive line as well, but I just don't believe in Jameis Winston at this point anymore. I mean, he pretty much got outplayed last year by career backup Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm not exactly sure why he even got his job, but other than the fact that Fitzpatrick started to struggle himself. But other than that, Jameis Winston has not done anything in the NFL that has proven him to be worthy of that first overall pick draft status. The 27th ranked team, the Broncos, I believe the Broncos are moving in the wrong direction. I do like how they focusing on Courtland Sutton and Emmanuel Sanders to be their guys. Now they let Demarius Thomas go, They let him go, but they traded for Joe Flacco, a guy who I believe is far past his prime. I never thought Joe Flacco was the quarterback he was, advertised to be, this Super Bowl winning guy, this guy who can go from Clark Kent to Superman once the playoffs come. I never thought he was that guy. I just thought he had a good run when they played their Super Bowl run. I never thought he was that type of guy. But they do still have Phillip Lindsay in the backfield, who had a pretty good rookie season at running back. He got hurt towards the end of the year, but he still played solid. They still have Devontae Booker. They still have Chris Harris. They still got a pretty good defense. They still have Von Miller, probably one of the best edge rushers in this league. But this team, they went from a Super Bowl winning team to a bottom ranked team pretty easily and pretty fast in a matter of 3-4 years. And it's just really not seen that often that you see a team have this high caliber defense and have that pretty good of an offense. They just plummet. So the Broncos have a lot of making up to do. They have a lot they need to build on, and I do believe that them trading for Joe Flacco was a huge mistake. I mean, I believe they just basically got Case Keenum in return when they already had a Case Keenum. These two guys are pretty much the same quarterback in my eyes, but that's what they decided to do. My 26th ranked team, I believe, is the Bengals. AJ Green is coming back healthy. Andy Dalton is coming back healthy. But even with all of that, I believe the Bengals are not going to be that good of a team. They let Vontaze Burfict walk. They let him go. It seems as if every year they have injury issues. Every year they have injury issues. They did do good by signing the quarterback coach to be the head coach from the Rams, who might help Andy Dalton progress, but at this point in Andy Dalton's career, I believe you have what you have with him. I don't believe he's going to get any better. I don't believe no quarterback whisperer or coach or guru is going to elevate his game in any way. I just feel as if you have your guy and you know what you're going to get with him. So I don't see how much he will be able to improve, but the Bengals are content on keeping him, and they're not trying to move on as it seems. They still do have Joe Mixon as well, though, but the Raiders, in all honesty, they were always a team that just always wasn't good enough when it came to the big moments. They always had the talent, but it seems as if they could never pan out for them. My 25th ranked team, I believe, is the Buffalo Bills. And I had the Bills here because they're still a team that has a developing quarterback. He's a guy who's still trying to find his own in Josh Allen. They did do some justice by signing him two pretty good productive receivers in Cole Beasley and John Brown. They signed an old veteran running back in Frank Gore, a guy who is up in age now, but he's still reliable. He'll still be those yards and them key touches when you need them. So I feel as if they're a progressing team who's trying to develop a young quarterback, which in today's NFL you need to do, because the quarterback is the most essential position on the field now, especially in the passing league. Jets, I have them ranked 24th. New York Jets made a lot of moves this offseason. Signed C.J. Mosley, gave him a monster deal. They signed Le'Veon Bell. They signed Jamison Crowder. They traded for Kelsey Measley from the Raiders. They made a lot. They are invested. They are obviously invested in Sam Darnold to be their future, because not only did they sign so many new offensive players and weapons to contribute to his growth, they also signed the head coach Adam Gase, who around the league was known as the quarterback whisperer. Like, he's a guy who makes guys at that position better. So I do believe they're all in on Sam Darnold, and they do believe that he can be a good quarterback. But only time can tell now. The Raiders, I have them ranked 23rd on my list. The Raiders made a lot of moves this offseason. They went out and got Antonio Brown, who I believe is the best receiver in the league. They went out and got a guy in Terrell Williams to complement him after they released Jordan Nelson. They went out and got LaMarcus Joyner. They signed Vontaze Burfict. This team has made a lot of moves that will sure enough help them get better than what they were last year. But will it be enough to propel them over the top, especially in their division with the Chiefs and the Chargers? I'm not too sure about it. And the only way I can see them actually having a chance to compete with those guys is if they absolutely hit on every single draft pick that they have. And they have a good possibility to do it, because they still have 3 first-round draft picks, and they still have plenty of picks, and they still have plenty of opportunities to trade up and trade down, because they have a plethora of picks, honestly. So there's no telling what they're really going to do, especially with John Gruden calling the shots, and now they have Mike Mayock as their GM. So there's no telling what those guys are going to grow up. My 22nd ranked team, I have the Niners. The Niners made some moves to me with Dee Ford and Quan Alexander. They, to me, already are adding to a pretty good front seven. They had Eric Armstead. They have Solomon Thomas and DeForest Buckner. Those guys, they spent first round picks on, very high picks. I do believe they're good players and they will pan out. They also had Jimmy Ward. They still have Richard Sherman at corner, who wasn't really himself last season, and a lot of that was due to injury. But when he did play and when he was healthy, he played pretty good ball. He played really good to me. But the biggest thing for the Niners is the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo will be returning. I do believe they have to give him a number 1 receiver though. I really do believe that he doesn't have that guy to beat. They have a pretty good tight end. Marcus Goodwin is a pretty good slot guy. He's a burner, but they need that one guy who's going to be able to go across the middle and go deep when need be. So I do believe they have to address that in the draft. The Lions, I have to rate as my 21st team. And the Lions made some pretty solid moves as well this offseason. Signed Jesse James, the tight end from Pittsburgh. They signed Trey Flowers, the young edge rusher from the Patriots, and they signed Damian Mendoza. So they're building around Matt Stafford, and I do believe Kerryon Johnson is a good running back, and they need to start giving him a boatload of carries to take a lot of the pressure off Matt Stafford. They shouldn't have to depend on Matt Stafford to throw 340 yards every game. Kerryon Johnson is a very talented running back. He's good as he's as talented as any young running back in the league as we speak of right now. So he's a good running back, and he deserves to get that opportunity. The Panthers I have ranked 20th. Only significant move that I really see the Panthers make was sign Matt Paradis, the center from the Broncos. But they also signed a sleeper signing in the league in Bruce Irvin, a guy who was going to help come in and replace Julius Peppers and give you a good edge rush, you know. But the Panthers, in all honesty, they haven't done much this offseason to wow me in any way. They didn't already feel that strongly about the team that they have. Cam Newton is still pretty much inconsistent as it gets, but he's still extremely talented. But we'll see how this year goes for him, whether he has another MVP caliber year or he has another, it could have been a better year. The Steelers I have ranked 19, and the Steelers are ranked 19 because of the simple fact that they've lost their two best players on their team, Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. You don't simply replace those guys. You can try to replace their production, but you can't replace their presence on the field or in the locker room. A lot of guys have said Antonio Brown was a diva, he was this, Le'Veon Bell was a distraction, but a lot of that goes back to the coaching and to Ben Roethlisberger. A lot of players have come out and said he never takes accountability for his actions, but simply points the finger. So I believe the locker room is very dysfunctional. I believe Mike Tomlin is a big responsibility. He's mainly responsible for that because as the head coach, you have to have control of your locker room, and he seems as if he does not have that at all. Even with those two guys gone, I do not believe he has that. So the Steelers are just a dysfunctional organization right now for me, and that's why they're ranked as low as they are. The Packers have ranked 18. I do believe the Packers have gotten better, but I'm going to need them to prove they've gotten better. They signed Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith, two good linebackers. Both can rush the passer when need be. They can both drop back in coverage, but more so Preston Smith. They signed Adrian Amos from the division rivals, the Chicago Bears, a guy who's going to come in and replace the production of HaHa Clinton-Dix that you traded to the Redskins last season. But they have a pretty solid young secondary. They just have to pan out at this point. They drafted Josh Jones last season. They drafted Alexander last season. They already have Kevin King, Josh Jones at safety. They have young players in their secondary that has to be able to develop, and that they need the right coaching for that. And I believe they have that now. The Falcons are my 17th team. I believe the Falcons haven't made any moves this offseason. They let go Tevin Coleman, a guy who produced pretty well in the absence of Devontae Freeman. But the Falcons battled a lot of injuries last season. And Keanu Neal, they had DeAndre Jones had missed significant time. They had a lot of guys go down the defensive side of the ball to the point they had safety starting at corner for them. But they come back healthy this season. I had to see this team mesh again. They're going to have to gel together again. But I do believe they can get better because, like I said, they haven't suffered a lot of injuries, an unusual amount of injuries. But this is a team that went from a Super Bowl playing team to a team that could make the playoffs in a matter of 2 years. So, but that's it for me today, you guys. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Make sure you tune in to ICSR Internet radio station. I apologize for my speaking today, but tune in to the rest of our shows that we have on here. We do a great job to entertain you all, and you all enjoy the rest of your day.